What's up, love? I had some interesting thoughts the other day that keep building. I'd love to hear them. So I was daydreaming about meeting an artist that is important to me and started thinking that I'd want to be more successful and secure in who I am first to be more worthy of them and their time. Interesting. Is this the same artist from earlier? No, actually. This is an entirely new person, and the situation with the previous one has changed. Very interesting. And I'm a bit glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm glad for it too, but why are you glad? It means you've learned some lessons about life, people, and yourself, and are continuing to grow. Okay, this time last year, I would have objected to that, but now I get it. Going back, you feel you as you are now isn't worthy of the person you have an interest in? I'll be honest, I thought it and began questioning it immediately. Good progress. What next? I thought back to all of my previous relationships and crushes and how I never thought the people weren't worthy of me due to their careers, ages, body type, any of that. I would, I have to admit, sometimes look down on some aspects of them, but nothing that wasn't a conscious choice, like unhealthy diet or drinking levels, a lack of accountability, or being thoughtless. At least I'm assuming that last one was conscious. It may have been entirely accidental. And I recognize those were traits I didn't like about myself as well. But I was having these thoughts in relation to I'll call him the new artist, I guess. That I'd want to be better in my career, more independent and confident to be worth their knowing me. I asked myself what I felt my greatest flaws were. For some reason, I didn't want to just list off the things I didn't like about myself or felt stuck with. So I answered by asking, well, what is a flaw, truly? And I said, out loud, that a flaw was a negative characteristic that negatively impacted you or others intentionally or unintentionally. That's what a flaw is to me. Interesting. Yeah, I know, right? I actually stood there in the bathroom stunned before congratulating myself on a good point and patting myself on the head. You rewarded yourself with head pats? Yes, I did. Deal with it. What, no chin scratchies? Nope. I settled for head pats and laughing at myself. Okay, then what happened? I went for a walk. A thinking walk, like you do. I did briefly think about what my flaws would actually be, based on this new definition. It really threw my worries and negative feelings about my appearance, career, and things into a new perspective, since now those didn't count as flaws at all. All the things I was saying didn't make me worthy of someone I liked didn't count anymore. I didn't go searching too hard for flaws to fit my new definition, though. Why not? I was sure I could create some if I looked hard enough. And then eventually realized that those were aspects of myself I was aware of and working to improve for everyone's benefit. I mean, anything I didn't recognize as hurting myself or others, I wouldn't know to work on, would I? True. What happened next? I went back to laying on the couch, listening to things online and feeling a bit bored and wondering what I should be doing. I'm still trying to apply the existential kink method to this and both accept and acknowledge what I feel, enjoying it as best I can. I get the feeling something else came up. Honestly, I don't know. A few side things, but I don't think anything in connection to this. Well, they don't have to be in connection to this. We're just talking about what you're learning. I really don't know what to say. Can we take a walk? Of course. Insert walking break music or sound effects here. I'm not including that. I thought of something I'd forgotten. Mind if I share? Never, go ahead. Okay, I did more thinking on that idea of being worthy. Or maybe just good enough is a better description. You know, what I'd previously considered flaws making me not good enough. It occurred to me, possibly not for the first time, that my standards for good enough are really stupidly fucking high. Like, as in perfect. I was thinking back to a video the new artist did where you're being enthusiastically and lovingly welcomed to hell by a demon. You're not there because you're awful and not there to be punished, but because of freakishly high standards for goodness and not being a favorite. And I was cool with it. Interesting. No pangs over not being good enough for heaven? No. I felt safe, accepted, taken care of, and loved for who I am. Like, I wasn't there because I couldn't be good enough, but because I belonged and was wanted. I guess I needed an outside presence to tell me the bar was set too fucking high. Which got me thinking about how good one might have to be to get into heaven. Like, if you follow all the rules, but drive a gas guzzler and buy fast fashion despite the harm, do you get into heaven? If you purchase pure breed pets despite the detriment to their health, do you get into heaven? If you shut down discussions on the racism against Aboriginal people with bullshit basically saying there's no way to solve it because you don't care, do you go to heaven? What if you do those through ignorance? All of which made me imagine there may be no heaven, if there are so many ways to harm others through existence alone. Not to mention the things that may have been done on your behalf, without your knowledge or will. That could have hurt someone and it was for and benefited you. What if the hell I keep picturing, and am frankly looking forward to if it's like the video, is my heaven? I'm loved and accepted. I have a place and am able to contribute, and I am good enough. Interesting. Out of curiosity, can you picture going to heaven? No. I can picture dying and fading into nothing. I can picture dying and joining the source of all consciousness. I can picture death and punishment or the wonderful hell of that video, but no, I can't. I have no idea what that would be like. I genuinely have nothing. Maybe the heaven you can't picture is as impossible as the standards you think you need to attain to be worthy of it. Impossible and unimaginable perfection? Possibly. Also, if I may ask, what makes you think you'd have to die and go to hell to be loved, happy, and accepted? Ouch, good question. I guess I don't feel it could be accomplished without divine intervention. And the great shift of leaving the physical world. Darling, that's worrying. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Going back to the book you've been reading, what can you do to bring more of that joy and love into your life now? Acknowledge that at least some parts of my subconscious love the solitude and loneliness, for aesthetic points if nothing else. You know how romantic and sexy it is to be the remote priest or philosopher or mystic somewhere in a cave or a chantry somewhere just writing and floating on waves of mysticism or some such nonsense. Maybe revel in my power to create it, savor the satisfaction, and maybe look at why I'm so afraid of all the wonderful stuff happening topside. Maybe I'm afraid of being that capable and attracting or having the good stuff, only to change my mind and realize I'd made a mistake or for it to be taken away. Then you'd be far more than capable of adapting or changing things to heal and grow. Any further thoughts? A few, but I'm pretty tired. I think I need a break. But remind me to tell you about the chanting. The what? Yeah, we'll get there. It's an interesting story, or more accurately, it's not an interesting story. Well, okay, yeah, it's a story. We'll get there. Fair. Till next time.